Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube. I'm your host, Mr. Prime Real Estate, Ric Davis.
And I'm your host, the Texas Real Estate King, LarryWBrooks.
Every week, the King and I will provide you exclusive access to our network of lenders, investors, and real estate professionals from both the commercial and residential real estate sectors.
Now, are you millionaire minded? Or maybe you're a millionaire in the making. Make sure that you subscribe so you can get connected to the network. And always remember, the Prime Real Estate Network, where millionaires are in the making.
Create wealth for generations. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, I ask you to reach out to me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this week, just like it is every Thursday here in this same time slot here in the noon hour, man. And I want to thank you all in the Prime Real Estate Network audience for tuning in. As always, man, I want to give a big, huge shout out to everyone over at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. I want to give a big, huge shout out to our super producer, Jay Joseph, man, for bringing this show to you every week. I want to take some time to introduce my co-host. He is not only a highly successful real estate broker, he's a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, and the proud proprietor of the Pure Hustle clothing brand. I want to thank him so much for sitting in with us this week, and I'd like to introduce the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks.
What up, Rick? How you doing, man?
Man, it's great to be here with you this week. Hey, man, it's great to be here with you this week, man. I have a really exciting show planned, man. I want to thank you for carving some time out your busy schedule, man, to sit in with us, man. You know, the cool thing about hosting the Prime Real Estate Network podcast with you every week is that we get to give everyone in the audience a little bit of behind the scenes access into what goes on over at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, what's going on in the world of the Texas Real Estate King. So as far as what's been going on lately with you, brother, what do you feel comfortable sharing with the audience?
Man, you know what? Things are good, Rick. I have no complaints at all, man. You know, we've been dealing with a lot of rainy weather here in Houston, Texas, but it's okay. We're used to it. We haven't had any real catastrophes take place, but I'm excited. We're into a beautiful week. Leading into this weekend, we got the Texas Black Expo. Shout out to my man, Jerome Love, Brooks and Davis, Prime Real Estate Network, Pure Hustle will all have a booth there at the event. And so I think it's booth 500 or booth 580. So for the audience that are out there, the ones that are tuned in live right now, y'all pull up on us. Come speak. Everybody's getting a free gift. Just pull up. We're going to sign you up for something free. Stuff. So come on over to me. Give me an opportunity to give something away.
No, I'm really excited about the booth over at the Texas Black Expo, man. I look forward to being out with you this weekend and meeting and greeting and interacting with those in the public. You know, the partnership that we've had and Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm has had with the Texas Black Expo has gone on longer than this year or last year. So could you share with the audience about how long we partnered with the Texas Black Expo and what moved you to partner and co-brand with them for the amount of time that we've been working with the Texas Black Expo?
Yeah, man, it's been years. I would probably go as far as to say they're celebrating 20 years. The Expo is celebrating 20 years. This is their 20-year anniversary. They're bringing in Magic Johnson for it. But I would say that we've been with them for at least 15 years, right? We literally grab us a booth, participate. I've hosted the coffee, the luncheons, and so I've been a big part. I've sat on the charity bowl of all of it. So we've been really heavily involved for many, many years. We started because here's one thing that people don't understand about trade shows, and I've been a part of many of them, including InvestFest that they do in Atlanta with the Earn Your Leisure group. You know, here's the thing about those. If you have a business, it is a great opportunity to go out and get in front of the people. Get in front of the people, let them meet you, let them see who you are, and collect data. All of this world is created off of data. If you got data, you know, and that's emails, phone numbers, you know, face-to-face contact with people, relationship currencies. It's for me an opportunity. It's been an opportunity for us to build relationship currency. So, you know, it gets out, get into the public. And of course, the events that take place while you're at the expos are important too, Rick. So this particular one, the 20-year one, has a lot of real estate driven events that's taking place at it. So what is a real estate event in Houston, Texas? Brooks and Davis is not a part of it. Prime Real Estate Network not a part of it. It don't exist if we're not a part of it. So we need to be a part of it. So I made sure that we were in the spot that's gonna have the dialogue taking place.
One of the things that we talk about a lot on this show is the power of networking, the power of seeing and being seen, the power of being a part of the real estate community and the entrepreneurial community, wherever you are, totally, and being a part of what's going on, meet the people that's making it move, meet the people that's making it shake. So this is just another example of some of the things that we do at Brooks and Davis and that we do here at the Prime Real Estate Network to always be at the front of mind as far as what's going on here in the city of Houston. So big, huge shout out. And once again, we want to invite everyone in our audience to the Texas Black Expo this weekend. Come stop by the Prime Real Estate Network booth and leave with a free gift. We promised everyone, Mr. Brooks, an exciting episode. And this is the part of the show where we give you a chance to share with the audience a little bit about our background and our history with our guests, how we were first introduced and how we went about getting them to commit their time to sitting in with us. So could you share with our audience a little bit about this week's guest and how we were first introduced and how we were going about getting them on this week's show?
Yeah, man. So this week's guest, I had the honor and the pleasure, social media and the real estate.
Okay, we'll bring the Texas Real Estate King back in. One of the great things about, sure I share that with everyone in the audience, is that this is her second appearance here on the podcast. And it's always great when Mr. Brooks and I have a chance to interview someone for the second time, and those in the Prime Real Estate Network audience get a chance to hear from people that they've seen before and seen how their career has evolved since their first appearance. But now that we got you back, Mr. Brooks, could you go ahead and finish your story, sir?
Oh yeah, but so like I said, man, just having an opportunity just to be engaged in different conversations, to attend different events where we've been plugged in together. And man, it was easy. It was easy. I reached out to her. I let her know that I wanted her to be back on the platform again. Saw she was doing some amazing things. I just wanted her to come out, talk about, some of the things that she has going on, the organizations that she leads throughout the city, and just so that the next generation can understand that you can start in this thing and get to where we're going. So it's an honor and a pleasure to have her, man. And she was on board with being a part of what we got going on again.
Look, man, it's always a luxury when we're able to share a true real estate leader with the audience. I want everyone in the audience, those that are newly licensed, those that are currently in real estate school that are going to be taking their licensing exams in the near future, to share this episode, like this episode, because when you have an opportunity to see people that are putting real estate leadership things into practice and building their career, is something that we all should take advantage of. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce this week's guest. She is not only a highly successful, top producing realtor here in the greater Houston area, but she is also the president of the Young Realtors Division Houston. I want to thank her so much for sitting in with us, and I'd like to introduce to the Prime Real Estate Network audience, Miss Atia Willis.
Oh my goodness. I did not need them to say that about me. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it. I'm so happy I'm here.
No, I want to thank you so much, man. No, because Larry and I, we always get a especially warm and fuzzy feeling on the inside anytime we have a guest on the show for the second time. So thank you so much for sitting in with us. For those in the audience who had an opportunity to meet you and see your first interview, it's been maybe about a year and a half or a couple of years. So what's been going on in your world? How have you been building your brand? And how has your company evolved since your first visit here on the Prime Real Estate Network?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, whenever I was on, it was about almost 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was new. But now I've taken on a different approach to real estate, which is being an activist and being in the community and making sure that not only new real estate professionals have the guidance, but I'm preparing our youth for this career because we want to see more of us in it.
That's right.
Now the cool thing is that you have become Madam President since we had an opportunity to sit down and interview you before. So could you talk about the position that you're holding with the YRD, some of the responsibilities that come along with that position, and what motivated you to step up and take on a leadership responsibility so early in your career?
Yeah, so what motivated me and what continues to motivate me is the leadership team. I couldn't do this without any of the leaders, the executive team that is part of YRD. We push each other. I always say that if you have a vision and you feel like you can accomplish it on your own, your vision, your dream isn't big enough. Teamwork,
Hey,
leadership is
right.
important, and you need to go mountain high. And the only way to successfully do that is with a team. So it's because of them.
Now the cool thing is that YRD is an organization that not only Larry and myself like to support, but Brooks and Davis Real Estate firm as an organization like to support that. So, Mr. Brooks, what are some of your experiences with YRD, and why is it that YRD is an organization that you've always supported and that you always would like to lend your talent and time to?
Yeah, man. You know, the thing is that I've had an opportunity, and I've been a part of it. But the Houston area, we just did a rebranding, probably about a year, maybe a year and maybe about a year now, right? And
Yes.
you know what's amazing about it is the energy of the people that are on there now. The leadership team, everyone from Yolanda said, that's as far as I'm going. I'm not going to leave out anybody else, but the leadership team is amazing. And the thing is they're putting in the work, right? There's so many things. And when I say putting in the work, they're putting together the right organizations, everything from athletic events, networking and socials, to sitting down in the classroom and learning and networking and gathering information from each other. And I just think when you get to growing like that, it's bigger than just here in Houston, right? So even the other chapters are starting to grow because of the energy and the dialogue. And what's super important about it is it's keeping our youth involved, right? And I know when we think real estate, we're not talking about youth like 20-year-olds. We're talking about our youth that's in our 30s, our youth that's in our 40s. You're still keeping us engaged as we get to bigger levels of this industry and as we support each other. So I commend YRD for everything that they do. And they are amazing. Like, they're one of the strongest organizations in the city of Houston and nationally when it comes to us as realtors.
Now I gotta ask, so Atia, so Larry mentioned a rebranding. So could you just share with our audience a little bit about the rebranding, why you guys felt it was necessary, and what type of interaction or what type of what type of direction are you guys trying to take the organization now?
So we are a NAREB organization in our local chapter, which is HBREA. We're an affiliate. We're like the child of HBREA. Houston did not have a young realtist division, and
Oh,
so
wow.
we had to launch one because HBREA is one of the top local chapters in the U.S. So if that is being said, then they had to come up with, hey, why does LA have a YRD? Why does Memphis? Why does Chicago? Houston needs to have one. And I'm honored that in that room of powerful people, they thought of Houston and they thought of me leading it. So I'm honored, I'm blessed. And I have to say this, I have to explain what the word youth means. So with NAREB, youth means three things. It means young at age, young at heart, and young in the industry. So that can be anyone. So that's why I say young is so broad.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the great thing that about the organization that you're leading currently that I was so impressed with when I was doing my research leading into your interview is the initiatives that you guys have that you guys have on the front burner that you guys are pushing every day. So could you share a little bit about some of those initiatives, because they're really ambitious, and the goals that you guys have for the organization, how you're going to affect the community, or something that I would really love if you would share with our audience?
Absolutely. Our mission is to empower and educate our youth in real estate careers in financial literacy, not only the youth, but the communities. And we also have a program which is Tomorrow's Leaders. And our job is to also empower those realtors who are new to the industry that look like us and know that they have that support. And for our youth program, it's called Young Entrepreneurship Program, where we actually go inside of the schools. It's from 9th grade to 25 years of age, which means we're going into the colleges as well. I don't know about y'all, but I was in college and I didn't know what LLC was, what credit was, building a house. I didn't know that there were so many careers in real estate. I never even thought I'd be here as a realtor and leading activist in this type of organization. But I am, and I'm so glad that I went through that journey. But I would have loved to known it in high school and college. What is so, because it's so important. It's building generational wealth. So we have to go back to our youth and educate them.
Have to, and just to add to what you're saying, I had no idea either. And I remember, and I'm one of the very few people that you'll meet that literally started their career in real estate. My very first career was real estate, and then it's carried on to where I am now. But I did not know about this. I got exposed to it in college and it just blew my mind. And it's funny because things like entrepreneurship, you never heard people talk about. So like you said, getting back into the classroom, letting the youth know that something like this exists, it could give them such a fast track to what life could really look like for them when it comes to creating wealth for their families. I always like to tell people, for most people, when they get ready to get into entrepreneurship, they're usually refinancing a property that they have, grabbing their equity and doing two things with it, either sending kids through college that way, or they're taking that money and investing into their vision, their dream, a business-minded ideal that they have. So yeah, you guys being in the classroom is amazing and actually going to help us grow this thing even bigger.
Thank you. And I would like to say the only way we can reach more students is if we have more members, because our members are going to be those who are training these 6-week modules, teaching these classes. If you're an inspector, you get to teach one of those trainings. If you're a builder, if you're a realtor, if you're a female who want to inspire youth that are in minority or low income communities, that you can have this. Our male realtors can talk to our young males and let them know there is more to life and career, to make money, to be able to take care of your family other than the things that might get you in trouble. So we need our members. We are doing a training luncheon. It will be in June. We haven't announced a date yet. We do plan to announce a date this weekend for you to come out, have lunch. We'll train you, and we're going to get you out either in our summer program and helping our students. Will be a little, we'll make it like an express, or you'll be able to go into the schools with us. And we need our leaders. So if you have a passion for real estate, you have a passion for our youth, and you just have a passion to see us go in a different direction, because we're still where we were in the 50s. So only 40% of African Americans own in the U.S., but during Jim Crow, we were at least at 55%. That tells you something. And you should always understand that it starts with the youth.
Yeah.
Yep. I have to ask, because your point is so well received from Larry and myself. We talk about all the time how when we were in high school and junior high, there was no exposure to entrepreneurship or exposure to real estate from a career standpoint. So I have to ask, how receptive have you found the students and the young people are to this type of mentorship and education, considering that it is something that is newly been introduced to them?
Well, I have to start with our first launch we did in January at Bethel Family Church. We had over 100 students that were registered, and they were there. And they did breakout sessions, and they got to speak to real, like you guys, real leaders in the community, and they asked questions. After we got together, we had the students tell us, what did they learn? What was key to them? One young lady, she stood up and she said, I learned what credit was. I learned how important it was. And I didn't even know that. And another young man, he stood up, he was 17 years old, and he cut grass and he power washed. And he said, I power wash and cut grass to make extra money, but I learned in an LLC and business class that was taught by one of our attorneys that's a member that this can be a real business for me and I can start now. And that attorney actually sponsored him to be his attorney free of charge. So the kids loved it, and we're going to have more. North Shore High School is going to be one of our first high schools we're going in. Those students actually asked their school for us. So I can't wait to get in there and just touch hands. I feel like even if we have 100 students, if half of them, even if 5 of them leave and say, I'm going to own a house, I'm going to own multiple houses, I'm going to have a business, that's me. I feel like we've accomplished what we wanted.
Yeah. Shout out to cutting grass, man. That was my very first hustle when I was a kid. Cutting grass. I had several yards, man. That was a whole business model for you, boy. Shout out to that, man. That young man doing some things, no doubt about it.
No, and that's super powerful. And I thank you so much for your transparency as far as sharing some of the behind the scenes successes that you guys at YRD are enjoying, because I think it's really important for our audience to not only have an idea of the organization, what it is that we'd like to do in the future, but some of the powerful impact that you're making in real time. So I thank you so much for sharing. One of the cool things that I realized during my research that I feel like is something that needs to be spotlighted that you guys are doing is that you guys have almost a mentorship program for new agents,
Yes.
where you're helping new agents that are new to the real estate industry, give them some tips, some ideas on how to be successful, because there's so many minority realtors that come into the industry and they find it challenging to get a foothold. So could you just share with our audience a little bit about that initiative and what is some of the things that spurred that from a organizational standpoint?
Absolutely. So we didn't forget about our new realtors. We have our Tomorrow's Leaders module. It is a 6-week training and mentorship where we're teaching you all of the fundamentals, all of the literacy, and also the hand holding, the partnership, whatever you need and whatever helps you succeed, because all realtors are different. That's why there's so many different brokerages, and you have to understand what is the best leader for you, what's the best broker for you. We're here for you from that. We also, some of our members are partners and are going to be people in the real estate industry. Your plumbers, your electricians, your inspectors, your appraisers. We are going to have that team of people who are also there for you, where you don't have to guess about it. You don't have to feel like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Because truth is, a lot of brokers and team leads, it's not as easy as it seems to produce and also teach someone to not only produce as much as them, but most good leaders and brokers want you to produce even more. So you have to reach out to organizations and other places to get that education to help them help you. So that is what we're all about with Tomorrow's Leaders.
See, now that's strong. See, because I think so many times, especially when you're new in any industry, you feel as if all the roadblocks and challenges are set up just for you specifically. You tend to internalize a lot. You tend to take things really personal. So that's one of the great things about being involved with an organization like YRD, is that you guys have regular networking functions, regular opportunities to get together, powwow, share best practices, and hopefully put everyone on a path of success, because that's one of the foundational goals for your organization, what we do over at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, and why Larry and I decided to found and start the Prime Real Estate Network from that standpoint. So I want to thank you so much for everything that you guys are doing on a regular basis.
So much. And look, we work hard, but we also play hard. So if you haven't
talk about that.
Talk about that part, right?
Look, I always say it gotta be fun. I have to have fun. I want us to let our hair down. And no, if you come into our mixers, you're not gonna get a ticket to get either wine or beer. I mean, you're gonna get a margarita, a lemon drop, you're going to get a real drink. You're going to socialize. You're going to meet some heavy hitters. You're going to be in a room with Black excellence, and we are going to talk about success. We all want to be successful, and we all want to make sure we're not left behind. So that's what our events are all about. Speaking of events, we have a volleyball tournament on the 25th.
Oh, wow.
Please, we need if you have a team, even if you're not real estate, if you want to play volleyball, make sure you sign up. If you have a team, make sure you sign your team up, because we're competitive. I'm competitive. My team, we're ready to win, but you can still come and try. So yeah, so make sure y'all follow us, join us on the fun, because we work so hard. We need to have that space.
She's talking about winning out there, young Rick. We might have to put together a prime real estate team, man, and just
how many
get out
members
there
of the team,
and represent, showing my old athletic abilities, man.
Look, how many members of the team? How many members do we have to formally sign our team up?
To form your team, I believe 5 or 6.
Oh, we could do that, Larry. We could do that. We can get 3 other people.
I like winning, man. I ain't had a good free trophy in a long time, man. We might need to go and get this trophy.
And look, it's giving back. So if you register and you're part of this and your plan, all that money goes to our students, because our goal is to be able to sponsor a student at least $500 to them towards either real estate school, or if they want to get their license to be an inspector, appraiser, anything. So please join us. We need you.
That's good, good. Matter of fact, let me know if I can help out in that sponsoring thing too, because I got Rita Santa Maria and Kim over there at Champions Real Estate School. I got the plug. You know what I mean?
Oh, thank you.
A little bit better, so I got the plug over there. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
Cool thing is Atia, you've been on the show before, so you've answered this question before, so this won't come out of left field for you.
Okay.
But for the members of our audience that are meeting you and interacting with you for the first time, could you share, when you think about your upbringing as a young lady, were there any members of your family or your close personal circle that were business owners and entrepreneurs? And if so, how did they serve as an inspiration or a motivator for a young Atia?
Oh, wow. This might be cliche, but I'm going to say my parents. My parents were, they met in junior high. They got married as teenagers, and they are still happily just in this beautiful, loving marriage with 5 children. And they also owned a detail shop, a day hat program, and they were great parents. But I also saw the strength that they had to endure to have that. So that is where I believe my strength comes from. So I love it, Dad.
That's good.
Thank you so much, because we try to ask every one of our guests that question, because I want everyone in our audience to understand, if you're a business owner and an entrepreneur, I want them to understand the power of their presence and how they're affecting so many people around them without them even knowing. And then also for the young people that may have met you before, I wanted to give them a little insight into your background, because I think sometimes the evolution that business owners go to before they get successful is something that can be underreported. So I want to thank you so much for your transparency and your candor, and anything that Larry and I can do to assist what you guys are doing over at the YRD. We're open and receptive. So, and you always have a seat here on the show with us. So thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, I just want to kick y'all butt in volleyball. So come on.
Hey, listen, we ready for the smoke now. Come on now. You have no idea.
Well,
absolutely.
I'm ready.
Larry, we got to get the special volleyball T-shirts and everything. We got to have uniforms and the whole 9 now.
Come on, man. We're going to go out there and showboat a little bit. Now, we got to do it quick, because I think it's May. What date is that again?
May 25th.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a venue plan? Is there a venue? Share the venue. Do we have venue?
Yes.
How can the people get more information on it?
So if you guys follow YRD Houston on Instagram, we have a link tree, and you can click to register. You can click our events, please. And then if you want to join, we also have that button if you want to be a sponsor. Or you can just contact me directly. I am Atia Willis. You can always contact me. I'm always ready. YRD is my passion.
Thank you so much, Miss Willis. It's an honor and a pleasure to interview you again. Anytime you want to stop by, Larry and I would love to carve a place out for you here with us. And I want to thank you for everything you're doing in the community, because definitely you guys are doing God's work. So continue to fight the good fight.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Appreciate your time, Queen. Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Hey, man, look. How's she gonna just challenge us like that live and on air?
Hey, man, we're not knowing. We're ready for the smoke now. See, that's how they treat you when they've been on the show. They're your guests, they're your friends.
Right.
Then they can come at you that way. I love it, man. That's what it's all about, and it's for a cause, man. It's for the kids, man. They'll be little kids, old people,
Hey,
and the
look.
kids. They'll be love old people and the kids.
Hey, look. So look, everybody in the audience already know Larry and ourselves will be showing up at the YRD volleyball tournament. That's a for sure. So, but Mr.
Yep.
Brooks, share with the audience everything that's going on this weekend and give them a little bit of the information about the Black Expo.
No doubt about it. Y'all make sure, I want to say this. Yeah, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. It's very important. It pops out to the YouTube algorithm. I know you hear this all the time, but it's a real thing. And so also make sure that you go out, you follow Brooks and Davis TV. We put out a lot of content on that channel as well. Want you to go and get educated. If you know someone that's looking to get into the real estate industry, grow their business, I want you to come tune in. And by all means, the Texas Black Expo is taking place. It's very good for the city. It's very strong for downtown Houston. It's a free event. So if you want to pull up to the Georgia or Brown, it's open from 12 to 6 on Saturday and Sunday. Come. It's no charge at all. Come network. Come meet the booth owners. Spend some time with them. Get an understanding of their businesses. Find out why they've had an opportunity to be successful. This is a great opportunity for anywhere from age, I would say 18 and up. You want to be there. You want to come in. You want to support. And, man, that's what's going on this weekend. That's where I'll be, man.
Hey, look, man, I'm gonna show up there too. So Saturday, man, carve your Saturday out.
Yeah.
Put about 6 hours to the side. Come to the Texas Black Expo. Visit every booth, but especially ours. Come meet the Texas Real Estate King. Come meet myself. If you haven't had an opportunity to meet, greet, and interact with us, man, this will be a great opportunity. We're a lot more fun in person than we are online. So come hang out this Saturday, no doubt.
Yes. Everything my man Rick just said. Yes.
Well, on behalf of myself, Ric Davis, and the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, we want to thank everyone in the audience for tuning into the Prime Real Estate Network. In the meantime, in between time, if you need anything, we're just a phone call, email, text, or direct message away. And until next week at this same time, everyone in our audience, please be safe and be blessed.